Omunyamyatse nyakabara oyuketeba wamwa Shaka Ssali mwakanabya inyakarwa omubumezi obwekihuwo ekiro ekyemulioro kandi kini mukanganibwa ende Shaka Ssali ono nembutwa ey'omwihanga eri Uganda oyukarwa omwa district eyekabala eyikasanganibwa omwa southwestern ey'erihanga leno eri Uganda.
But I would say get better, not bitter, Africa, and please, please, let's keep the African hope alive. I remember the first interview that I received just before the first edition went on air. The journalist, asked me, what will it take for you to consider yourself a successful host of Straight Talk Africa? I remember immediately, spontaneously saying that if I could first and foremost remain authentically Shaka Ssali, the kid from Kabale, I would have succeeded. And frankly, I think there is abundant evidence to suggest that we have succeeded.
Shaka Ssali ono mwabya enyakasomera okwitendekero eri Rukungiri Primary School hanyuma amabya nyakayunga okwitendekero eri Kigezi High School kandi kini mukanganibwa ende ya Shaka Ssali ono omukutukubukuwe enyakine okwitendekero abya ini mwezi kutsebu kandi nyakakenga ebendu ebye debate omumwaka wa 1992 Shaka Ssali mwabya enyakawa okwakindu ekyamani kutsebu ekyabya ekikahendura obumezi kuwewe hanyuma esharebya enyabererabo omwabandu benene omwabutuku obwembembetya obwa president hano omihanga eri Uganda ngobwembembetya obwa Amini Dada yobya president w'erihanga eri Uganda nobwembembetya obwa Milton Obot. Shaka Ssali ono mwabya enyakabana gold runde omuisa owerebya enyangana kolera okwakinemba eche Voice of America kinu kyabya ekikahindura obumezi bukuwewe. Shaka Ssali mwatukiraho arebya enyaka hostinga endeka eya Africa World Tonight okwakinemba eche Voice of America. Omumwaka ow'eshangumibiri ekinemba eche Voice of America mukyabya ekikaherera ya butongole eya Shaka Ssali endeka eiketeba wamwa Straight Talk Africa. Kandi kini mukanganibwa endeka eno seyabya endeka eyerutsaetseye. It was not just a show, it was a revolution. Ayabya kakora obuli kyakasatu aho mushakurono abye inyakikala hesi hayimana ba presidents, prime ministers, rebels akalengekanya kutsebu ekyo musungu aketamwa digging deep into the gaps of Africa's toughest issues emomole ngebiki demokrasia ebyo corruption hayima nebyo development.
I have to say that there have been very many events that have happened during my stay at the Voice of America for the last 29 years. But I think that I would sum it briefly as a very, very challenging journey that also was somewhat interesting and incredibly rewarding.
You had loyal guests, Shaka, on your show. That meant so much to you. They sacrificed their time to join you, rain, snow, or the summer heat. Why do you think they stuck with you to the very end?
I was not a very traditional type of guy, and so I sometimes used what I would characterize as a sort of guerrilla tactics in order to get unfettered access to some very, very inaccessible guests, for example. And here, the first person that comes to mind is a former Kenyan president, President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi. You cannot believe this, Esther, but it took me 7 years before I could finally link up with President Moi. It took me 1999, when I also happened to be in a situation where I interviewed another equally very difficult president to access. That was the Democratic Republic of the Congo President Laurent Desire Kabila in 1999. And of course, the second time is when you and I were with the Voice of America director, Sunday Anga.
Hello, welcome to Straight Talk Africa, live from the Voice of America studios here in Washington. It's Wednesday, January 9th. I am Shaka Ssali. Today, we'll talk about the Voice of America and the role of international broadcasting to Africa. Voice of America was created on February 1st, 1942. Today, the international broadcaster has new challenges and new opportunities in Africa and around the globe. My colleague Paul Cisco has more.
Bichini mukanganibwa and echine mbachenu eche Voice of America muchabia echikatsukiba waho omumwaka oworukumirwenda ani nibi omwesera owakabere chero chibanza ngechine mba eche Rwenzoris TV tukabia itukalirikana nerihika area umunyamyatsi nyakabara oyurwasiwe omwachiwe cyosi eritukira hano mihanga Uganda eritamukira omihanga United States of America yeru abirikara tyangule omoyokuwe enyabya enyakahumura buhora habo mwatsi okwaseisatu kwa chinemba eche Rwenzoris TV ngalwe kikama Yusuf awya kusakirao.